Assalamu alaikum students, your instructor Abdul Rafi here. So today it's a very important topic of Pearson Edexcel, that is vectors, okay, as you can see on the screen. So I'm going to solve a couple of different questions, okay. I'll try to solve as many questions of recent past papers. So this one is from 2020. So let's get started with the vectors question, okay. So here we go. How are you going to solve the tricks and how do you go about it? What should be your focus of doing it? So let's get started and learn those techniques, okay. So the diagram shows that there is a trapezium OACB, okay. So OACB is a trapezium with the vectors already given, that sir OA is 3A, OB is 6B, and you have been given AC as 4B, okay, and we can see those vectors as well. OA, make sure direction matters, which point you are going on. So every line you have to understand very carefully, and the vector, and if you understand the diagram, if you can do the diagram very carefully, good, so you can solve all questions very carefully with practice, okay, very easily. So then it says that N is the point on OC. So there is N is on the line of OC, okay. We can definitely say that N is the point on OC such that A and B is a straight line. So A and B is going to be a straight line. So let's try to draw that to make sure understanding is better. So here we go students, I draw the line from A to B, and which means that N is going to be, sir, follow in the blue color, that let's say that N is here, okay, everyone got that? So N is the point on the line of OC such that A and B is a straight line. Everyone needs to understand that this is your thinking, this should be how you should be going in your examination, with this mindset, that first try to make it imaginative and think from there that agar AB is a straight line, so the point will be going from O to C, the point lies on there on N, okay. So what you have to find is basically ON. So let's make that as well. That's sure we have to find ON, or let's do it with a dark color. So we have to find ON as a simplified expression in terms of A and B. We have to find ON, okay. So let's get started with this. So what we are going to do first, always we find couple of important things, okay. So we are going to work out couple of important vectors finding. So let's first find out OC, okay. So we are going to first find out OC. How we can find out OC? That's our OC is going to be OA vector plus AC vector, okay. The end and the starting point should meet, so it's going to be OC vector is going to be, sir, OA plus OC AC vector, so it's going to be 3A plus 4B, that is going to be your OC vector, okay students. This is very important to understand that you got OC vector already, that is 3A plus 4B. So with this you can make your first equation, that if you need ON, you can just simply say that ON is equals to lambda times, you are going to use lambda here, lambda and mu, so ON is equals to lambda times of OC, okay. So that is going to be the case here, that sir ON is equals to lambda times of OC, because it lies on the same line, it lies on the straight line, so somewhat constant value, there should be a constant value. And you can also take alphabets as well, it's not that you have to take lambda and mu, you can take A, S, T, R, anything except for these values A and B, you can take anything to get that, because that's the constant value. But because vectors, the rules are like you should be using lambda and mu, so ON will be lambda times of OC. So you got the one equation from here, let's try to get the other equation from the other side of it, okay. So what we can do students is basically going to be, we have to make the other equation. We already know that we can basically get, exactly, we can get AB as well, so we can find AB as well now because of the understanding. So we are going to find AB, as we already know what will be AB vector, because it is given. AB vector will be, sir, OB minus OA, okay. So it's going to be AB vector as going to be OB minus OA, position vector of B minus the position vector of A, so it's going to be 6B minus 3, okay. Hope this is understandable, very clear. That's where we got the AB vector as well, 6B minus 3A, so that is going to be our AB vector, okay. Now what we can say is simply, in order to make another ON, I can say that it's going to be very simple, that ON vector, follow the diagram, okay. I can say that ON can be OA, if I go to OA, sir, and because we need two equations to solve, and then an. Okay, so that's how I can make the other equation of mine, by saying that sir, on is equals to the oa vector plus an vector. Okay, so that is very important. And then you can say that on vector is going to be, oa is already the vector, you know, that is 3a sir, and then plus an is going to be, again you are going to use the straight line rule, that because there is a straight line and you already know AB. Okay students, that's why we find out first the things, because we already know AB. So that is very important, because we know AB, we can use that to make it the mu theta, that is basically mu times of AB. Okay, that an can be written as, we can definitely say that sir, an can be written as, and it's not, because some value, some constant value, that is mu times of AB, whatever the vector AB is, mu times of AB. So here we go students, we got the two equations. Now we can solve them together to get our answers. Okay, sorry, we can solve them together. on is coming here and on is coming from here as well. We can solve these together to get the on vector in a simplified expression in terms of a and b. So let's get started and let's solve the working now in red. Okay, so it's going to be on vector is equals to 3a plus mu times of ab, that is 6b minus 3a. So you simplify and you are going to get sir, 3a plus 6b mu minus 3a mu, and here you got on is equals to lambda times of OC, that is 3a plus 4b. We are going to multiply these two students, so let's just change the color. So we got on vector as 3a lambda plus 4b lambda. Now it's all about the highlighters. Make sure understand that a will be compared with a and b will be compared with b. Okay, so for the a, it's going to be 3a lambda is equals to 3a minus 3a mu. Okay, so that's going to be our one equation. Follow very carefully. That's sure, it's going to be 3a lambda is equals to 3a minus 3a mu, and we follow the other highlighter in green students, 4b lambda is equals to 6b mu. Okay, so that is very important, that sir, 4b lambda is equals to 6b mu. You take out a and a commons. Okay, and here you take out 3a common, so I'm getting, let's just do it for you guys. So it's, if I take 3a common from here, so I'm getting 1 minus mu and lambda 3a. So we say that this one cancels out. Follow in the blue color, 3a cancels out, and we got it students that lambda is equals to 1 minus mu. Understandable, everyone should be getting this. And here as well, b and b cancels out, so I can say that lambda is equals to 6 mu over 4, and that can be turned into 2 3s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. So that is the case there. Okay, so here we go, we got the lambda, we can just plug in the value and solve them simultaneously. We got lambda here, we got lambda equation here, so I'm expecting that we should just simply solve it directly in any way you want. Okay, so I'm just doing comparing. So 3 mu 2, I'm just substituting it there. So 1 minus mu I got, so it will be 3 mu is equals to 2 minus 2 mu, so 5 mu divided by 2. So mu is basically 2 divided by 5 students. Mu is coming 2 divided by 5, so lambda is going to come 1 minus 2 upon 5, that is basically 5 minus 2, 3 over 5. Okay, so here we go students, lambda is 3 over 5. That is going to be, we can use any of them, either you can use lambda or mu, because lambda 1 is easy to express. Okay, lambda 1 is easy to express. Hope everyone got this, how to solve simultaneously. Any questions can be asked. Just a misprinting here, 2 divided by 5 is there. Here we go, so you can write down the answer. That's your on. There is another page as well, but I've tried to squeeze in the working here. on is going to be 3 upon 5 of OC, and that is going to be 3 upon 5 of basically multiply by 3a plus 4b. So you can just express that on is going to be, sir, 3 3s are 9 over 5a plus 3 4s are 12 over 5b. That is going to be our answer for ON in a simplified expression form. Okay, students? So hope everyone get this question, how we are getting it. This is very important to understand that in the vectors of Pearson Edexcel for MA1, for MB1, you have to basically, students, make the equations with lambda and mu. Two simultaneous equations need to be solved, and that is how the whole working in a nutshell will look like. Moving forward, students, we have another question, that is question number 24 on vectors, which says that OXYZ is a trapezium, and it's a recent paper 2022 as well, okay, for Pearson Edexcel for MA1. So let's talk about that question, that is OXYZ is a trapezium. As we can see, vectors are given for OX, XY, and OZ vectors are given, students, okay. Then they also mention, as I said, that the information to read is very important. So M is the midpoint on OX, so we can separate them as well, and N is the point such that M and Z and O and Y are the straight lines, okay. So again, given that the ratio is given for ON ratio to OY is lambda is to 1, use a vector method to find the value of lambda, and the question is for 5 marks, okay, students. So let's get started, let's work on this. Question is in front of you. Again, always remember, vectors questions have to solve it simultaneously, make two equations in terms of lambda and mu, because this time lambda is fixed, so we are not going to use lambda, we have to use the other one, mu, as well, okay. So what we can do, the first thing is, it's very clear that, as I said, that first try to find out what information we can calculate, okay. So we definitely can find out, first thing will be that we find out OY, students, by saying that OX, position vector of X, plus position plus the XY vector. So sir, we can find easily by saying that it's going to be OX plus XY going in all the same direction, and here we go, sir, we got the vector of OX plus XY, that will give us the OY vector, okay. So here we go, it's going to be, sir, OY vector will be A plus B, okay. Now when we got the OY vector, we already have the ratio for that as well, sir. OY vector is basically A plus B, and it is represented by 1 unit, okay. So this whole AB, follow in the highlighter, students, in green color, that this whole OY represents 1 unit. If this represents 1 unit, how much will ON represents, what will be the ON vector? So you can simply say that ON is going to be, because this is equivalent to the lambda, it is the ratio is lambda, so you can just multiply and divide, cross multiply. So it's going to be lambda times of A plus lambda times of B divided by 1, which you are not going to write. So we got, students, that, sir, ON vector, one equation we already got, that is lambda A plus lambda B. So that is our one equation for the ON, okay. So that is very clear, crystal clear, that one equation you can easily get it from this thing, okay. So we'll make it as well, that ON, we got one equation from there. Now let's work for the other equation, which we will use mu. So what we can say, because we need to make ON, so sir, what we can do is simply we can make ON in this way as well. How I can make, sir, ON? By following the red line, students, that if I need to make ON, I can go to OM and then plus MN, right? So I can definitely say that ON can be represented by the position vector of OM plus MN. And now we have to work out from this. If you get this, like, we can go to OM vector and then MN add into it, we will get the ON vector, and then we can do comparison, solving simultaneously, students. So make sure the understanding is that equation to humne form kar li, we have formed the equation, it's important to get the values correct for them, okay. So let's work out the values for them now. So it's going to be, what is going to be, sir, OM, because they have mentioned as information that M is the midpoint of OX, so we can say if this whole, follow carefully, if this whole is A, right, if this whole is A, so half of them will be A upon 2, right. So it's going to be half vector 1 upon 2A, and similarly 1 upon 2A here as well, okay, because total will add up to 1, so it will be half vector, that is OM is going to be 1 upon 2A. So that is going to be our understanding for OM vector. In order to find MN vector now, because sir we have found out, follow the highlighter students. Okay sir, OM vector to find kar liya. How we are going to find out the gray color MN vector? So let's write down that MN vector again. MN vector can be represented in the form of the mu, that by saying that mu times Mn is going to be equals to sir mu times of the other one coming as times mz. Okay, this is the trick of solving every question, that mu times of mz, and now you have to find mz first. Okay, so it's going to be mz. So how are you going to find mz sir? It's going to be very simple. The position vector of z is given minus the position vector of om sir. So oz minus om, we can definitely get the answer. So oz is going to be sir 3b minus half a. Okay, so it's going to be 3b minus half a, that is going to be mz sir, mz vector. And here we go students, we now got the original on vector as well. Another time, on will be om half, om will be represented, on vector will be om half a plus mu times of 3b minus half a. Okay, that is there, that is your other equation students, and now you can just solve them simultaneously to get the answer. Okay, so that is very important, very clear. So let's just put them together. So just simplify first. On is going to be half a plus 3b mu minus half a mu, and it's going to be, follow carefully, it's going to be half a, so it's going to be half a minus half a mu compared with lambda a. Okay, so that is very important. So that is the first equation. Let's write it down, equation number 1 here, and it's going to be sir that lambda a is equals to half, all of the orange highlighter, half a minus half a mu. Okay, that is very important. And then sir equation number 2, let's write it here students. I hope everyone gets the concept of these things. Okay, equation number 2, follow in the green color, that is going to be lambda b is equals to lambda b times 3b u. Okay, 3b mu. Okay, so it's going to be lambda b is equals to 3 times b of mu. So you can go, b cancels out, so lambda is equals to 3 times of mu. That's the good equation that we got from there. Okay students, so b and b cancels out, so lambda is equals to 3 times of mu. Okay students, hope everyone got this. This should be in the bracket, that lambda is 3 times of u sir. Okay, now because we need to find that value of lambda only, so we should make an equation that we should solve in terms of lambda. Okay, so instead of I'm going to plug in the value of this equation using, first let's simplify this one as well, that I'm going to take a common. So if I take a common, I'm left with half minus half mu is equals to lambda a, and here a and a cancels as well students. Okay, so a cancels here as well. So here we go now. So it's going to be lambda is equals to half minus half mu. It's for 5 marks students. So this is your other equation from that end. Okay, so we need to understand that we need to get solved for the lambda. Okay, so we have to make mu subject, or it's better now because we have already gotten that form, so just substitute. Okay, so we substitute 3 mu is equals to half minus half, so already the LCM is same. So 1 minus mu divided by 2, okay, the LCM is same. It's going to be 6 mu is equals to 1 minus mu, and then becomes mu is equals to 1 upon 7. That comes as the final answer for mu. Okay, so that is basically mu students, that is 1 over 7. So in order to get the lambda value, what is going to be our answer? That's our lambda is going to be, lambda was 3 times of mu sir. So here we go, lambda is going to be 3 times of 1 upon 7. Correct with the marking scheme, completely correct answer. Lambda is going to be 3 upon 7, and you'll get all 5 marks for this whole working students. So this is going to be our answer in a nutshell. If you want to see the working, that is going how is it going to be the working for this recent question of 2022. Make sure everyone stay tuned to channel for more videos on vectors and other topics as well of Pearson Edexcel. Thank you.